Hello, welcome to Kim and Friends, where we laugh through the chaos, cry whenever the hell we feel like it, and always keep it real. Because as women, the conversations we have and the stories we share behind closed doors need to be heard out in the wild. I'm Kim, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen today. I really hope something resonates with you. Hi, it's Kim again. I'm back. I thought I had wrapped up all of my introductory work, and then a few things happened. I re-listened and realized that I said something that I need to correct, and it's just like a tiny, silly thing, but I'll just let that hang for a minute and leave you in suspense. But it's going to crack you up when you hear it. And then I got all these other questions on Instagram, which was like really exciting. So I wanted to address the other questions that I got as well. So my first thing is, in re-listening to my introduction, I told all of you that my husband and I traveled to Paris and Greece. And I have never been to Greece. We did not go to Greece. We went to Rome. So, okay, that was kind of dumb, but whatever. Perimenopause at its finest. Maybe just manifest myself because I would really like to go there, but haven't been yet. But Rome was lovely. I did learn that Italian food is not my favorite. Don't at me. I had the best pasta in the world, and I was just craving protein the whole time I was there. So it was really exciting to get to Paris and eat steak frites on repeat. Not croissants. I did have croissants, but it was the steak and the French fries for me. I could have that as my only meal for the rest of my life. So now that that is squared away, we got that straightened out, let's hit some more questions. So got a couple of questions from Shelly, one of my beautiful producers for this podcast. Do I miss Texas? And did y'all just hear my dog snort? He's laying on the floor of the kitchen and he's snoring. That's really funny. I hope y'all get to hear that. So do I miss Texas? The short answer would be no. To expand on that, is that something that I realized early on in my adult life and really holds true is that home is where my people are. And I don't have a lot of people still in Texas. No disrespect to all of my beautiful friends that are still there. But as far as family goes, every member of my family relocated to other places in the United States. So if they were all in Texas, I think I would miss Texas. But because they aren't, St. Louis, and I've been in St. Louis over half my life now, it really has become home. And I would say in the past 10 years, this is what feels like home. And I may visit Texas, but I am a Texan in my heart, but I guess I've sort of morphed into a Midwesterner. So that is how I feel about missing Texas. I do love Austin, though. If I was ever going to go back to Texas, I think I would want to live in or near Austin. Shelly also asked what my skincare routine was, and it's very boring, but thank you. I appreciate that. Getting compliments on my skin is one of my favorite compliments to get, and I've tried it all. Well, maybe not all, but I've run the gamut between like using MLM products or buying more expensive things or spending money on facials. And I really have in the past 5 years, maybe less than that, settled in with some good old-fashioned drugstore products. And I use them consistently. And I try to drink a lot of water. And I do take some interventions. So just quickly, I'll run it down for you right now. The face wash that I'm using is just a Cetaphil knockoff, actually. I think it's like Walmart Top Care brand, but it's a gentle cleanser, and it is a milky cleanser and not a sooty one because I do tend to be dry. So I don't like to use a sooty cleanser because that dries me out even more. So milky cleanser, CeraVe hyaluronic acid, and then I use an eye cream, and it's really whatever Costco has. And I go for anything that's like reducing fine lines or tightening. I don't have too much of an issue yet with dark circles under my eyes. So I'm usually just trying to like keep them high and tight with my eye cream. And then my daytime moisturizer is Oil of Olay, just their generic moisturizer with SPF 15, and I put a couple of drops of vitamin C oil in it. And I'm not really fancy about my vitamin C oil either. Right now I'm using one that was a gift to me, and once that runs out, I'll probably get one at like TJ Maxx or something. And then my evening moisturizer, and I don't like a long nighttime routine, so I tend to do more in the morning because that's just when I have more energy and want to devote more time to it. So nighttime, I just wash my face again with the Cetaphil Gentle Cleanser, and then I use an Oil of Olay. It's more like in a pot, and it's a thicker moisturizer for firming. And I will sometimes dermaplane. I try to do it like every 2 weeks, but I don't like go with like a professional razor. I just use those little face shavers that you get at Walgreens or whatever. And I shave everything on my face and down to my décolletage. And then I'll moisturize really heavily, and then I will sludge with Aquaphor, and I use Aquaphor on my lips too, every day, every morning, every night. And I get Botox anywhere from every like 3 to 5 months, high in my forehead because I have hooded brows, but not too low because I don't want my brows to drop too much. And then I get my 11s done in between my eyebrows, and I get a little bit underneath each eyebrow just to lift my hooded brow a bit. I've had filler in my lips for the past few years, and I just recently got filler in my laugh lines. And in the next couple of months, I'm having my girl Katie do something to my neck. I'm not sure what it is, but I saw before and after on her Instagram, and I told her that I need it. And she said, I've got you. So I don't know if it's a filler thing or if it's a Botox thing or what the treatment is. But I will be getting something done to my neck probably in the next couple months. Back to school shopping kind of drained my injection budget. So I'd like to do it sooner, but yeah, probably this fall. So I'll keep you posted on the neck thing, but that's what's going on for me with skincare. More questions from Susie, who you will hear from on the podcast someday. She's a near and dear friend. If your podcast could change one thing for your listeners, what would it be? And her second question, because I feel like I'm going to have to answer this all at once. What inspired you to start the podcast, and what do you hope listeners will take away from it? So what inspired me to start it is that I have been trying to write a book for a really long time, and it's a lot of delay. One, because writing a book is just a slog and it's always going to take a long time. And two, because I get like really hyper focused on it for a month and then I lose steam and I don't work on it for like 2 years. And I write very stream of consciousness, and I write a lot like I talk. So a podcast felt like a more instant way to get out into the world what I want to say and what I want to share. I've also had a decent amount of people tell me I should have a podcast. So that was pretty affirming. And then I was also just put in a situation with Shody Media where they allowed me the opportunity to just do the fun part and take a lot of the minutia and the more difficult parts of doing a podcast off my plate. And I am so very grateful to them for that. So that is definitely what inspired me to start it. What do I hope listeners will take away from it? And one thing I could change for my listeners. I quite simply want you to take away from it whatever you need or whatever you want from it. I I'm not a complete buy-in person. I think my religious and evangelical upbringing has left me with what I think of as a healthy amount of skepticism. So I struggle with completely devoting my whole self to any one mindset or concept or religion or regimen. And I like to indulge in a lot of different things and see what works for me and take what I want and leave what I don't. So I hope anyone who desires to listen to this podcast will do that with that same mindset. I listen to podcasts where I don't agree with everything that they say, and I think that's healthy. So I want you to disagree with me. I want you to feel challenged by me. I want you to feel compassion from me. And if you want to change, then I want to encourage you to do that. But ultimately, I'm not trying to do anything to anybody. If it's for you, great, I'm here. If it's not, also great. I hope you find what is for you. And then I did have a few more fitness questions, so I'll dive into those for a minute. How do I keep fitness a priority, or how do I encourage others to keep fitness a priority as you get older and start families and careers? I am in a very fortunate position to where fitness is my career. So it's hard, and it has been for a long time. So it's hard for me to speak from the perspective of having this whole separate life where I'm not just constantly engaged with it. And I feel very fortunate that I have a responsibility to stay active and fit. Not to say that I don't go through periods of not exercising as much or taking time off or accidentally not working out for weeks and being like, oh shit, what the fuck? Wake up. I got to get back at it. I also am very fortunate to have a partner that we are very supportive of both of us getting movement in. And he knows for me, and I know for him in turn, that we cannot show up as our best selves unless we prioritize our movement and our exercise. So I would say, I guess, find yourself a career and a partner that's supportive of that in your life. If it's a non-negotiable for you, put it out there right out of the gate. I also think I'm fortunate that I have never experienced a lot of the guilt that other moms do associated with taking time away from their kids to prioritize their movement. So if I could give moms the gift of not putting themselves through the ringer for prioritizing their movement, it's going to make you a better mom, full stop. And that doesn't even have to be your reason for doing it. You can just do it because you want to, and you're allowed to want things for yourself still. Yeah, moms, you're allowed to want things for yourself still. Everything that you do doesn't have to be in service of those around you. It can just be for you. So, hot take there. Hope I'm not the first person to tell you that, but if I am, write it down, put it on your mirror. Don't let anyone take that away from you. And the last one from Kate. If you're buying a house in the St. Louis area, let me hook you up with her. She is wonderful. How do you stay motivated to work out, especially on days you feel extra blah? Well, I don't. I don't stay motivated to work out. And up until probably fall of last year, I went through a few-year period where it was a grind. And my inner monologue the entire way to the workout was, I'm going to give it my some. I'm walking at a low incline at a slow speed. I'm going to lift at 70 to 80% of my max because I am just going through the motions. And it was years that I was doing that. Fall of last year, I got on hormone replacement. So I'm on a low-dose estrogen patch and I take progesterone every day. And it was like a light was turned on inside me. The extreme fatigue was gone. I was struggling with a lot of joint pain. Extreme fatigue, but also like huge issues with sleeping. Like weird muscle twitches and spasms in my eye. What else? There was just like a whole laundry list of perimenopausal symptoms that I didn't even realize were perimenopausal symptoms. And it really was like a light switch, like about a month. Well, I adjusted my patch at the 1 month mark, upped it a bit, but like 2 months in. So like by the beginning of this year, I feel like myself and I feel excited and energized to do the things I'm passionate about again. And one of them is exercise. And I also don't do it if I wake up feeling like I don't have it in me today. And, you know, a workout 12 to 15 times a month, whether it's one week and 4 the next, and then 2 the next, and then 3 the next, is consistent. And that's the most important thing. If you tell yourself, I'm going to work out 5 days a week, every day this month, and then week 2, you only do 4, and then you beat yourself up, and week 3, you don't work out at all, or your plan to work out 5 days a week has you totally like sore and feeling disgusting and awful, but you just keep plowing forward anyway, that's not necessary. So like look at your workouts over the span of a month, a 3-month, a year cycle. How many times did you work out in the year, not this week? And 1 workout missed, 2 workouts missed, it's not the end of the world. So don't give it so much weight. And that is all the questions that I got. So very happy to have corrected that I did not go to Greece and have not been to Greece. If anyone wants to go to Greece with me or take me to Greece, please hit me up in my DMs at Kim and Friends Podcast. That's where you can contact me with trips to Greece or any other questions or things you might want to talk to me about. But a trip to Greece would be nice. Manifesting, right? Yeah, this was lovely. Nice to catch up again. I'm excited you're here. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.